Video game announcement season has been starting with absolute haymakers this year, so I want to go over some of the games that I'm most excited about and the announcements that really got me thrilled. We're going to make two separate videos here, and this one's going to be covering games that have already had some form of announcement in the past and they got a new trailer or got expanded upon. Now, when I say a game that's already been announced in the past, I do mean having a minimum of some sort of announcement trailer before. So we'll see some more details on those kind of games here. If I'm wrong about them, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make a whole other video about brand new announcements that we haven't heard about before. So, without further ado, we're going to be going in through these following events that were covered. We have the PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, and Nintendo Direct. We also had the Future Game Show, we're not going to be covering that one in this video, and when I say game announcement season, I do think that announcement season is still going. It goes to at least Tokyo Game Show. There's also Gamescom in between and a bunch of other smaller events, so expect a lot more great announcements coming over the next few months. Anyways, we're going to dive into it right now, and starting with our list here, but keep this in mind, I know I keep cutting myself off here. These games are not in order of what I'm most excited about or any level of quality. This is an arbitrary list of things I'm excited for. There's no like one is better than two. Anyways, let's go on and start with number 10. Orbitals is a co-op adventure RPG style game with a lot of different variation, gameplay mechanics, and a great retro anime art style to it. It's really eye-catching, it's got a lot of personality to the characters, their design, and the gameplay looks varied. Like I'm seeing a bunch of different mini-games, some platforming, some adventure stuff, an on-rail shooter section, some space travel. It's a great mishmash of different things all coming together in such an aesthetically pleasing harmony. The general mechanical nuance of it kind of reminds me of Split Fiction, which is a game I had such a blast playing with my good friend Pocket Trash. Shout out to Pocky. But yes, this game really catches my eye because I want more games that I can just enjoy a playthrough with a friend. I want to grab one or two friends, sit down and do a full playthrough of a game, because I like spending that time with them. There's some level of almost intimacy when you get to enjoy something that's just fun with someone else like this, you know? That's what Split Fiction did for me, and that's part of why this game has so much of my attention. So I do want to read the description of this game to you, and I want to point out that I didn't realize this game is exclusive to Nintendo. I thought it was going to be multi-platform. Anyways, the game is described as We Are One, grab a friend and launch into Orbitals, an intergalactic two-player co-op adventure set in a wholly new retro anime world. Team up as Maki and Omura, two inseparable explorers with a whole lot more determination and experience. You'll brave the perils of space in search of help for their crumbling station home, now trapped within a supernatural cosmic storm. Our duo must venture beyond the storm and into the unknown in a desperate bid to save their home. It'll take brains, bravery, and teamwork to make it work. And that retro anime feeling, Orbitals captures the warmth and style of classic Japanese anime, brought to life with handcrafted cinematic cutscenes from Studio Masket, full voice acting in English, Japanese, and 6 other languages, which I didn't know that. Like, that much voice acting goes an incredibly long way. And an original soundtrack that channels the magic of the era. A puzzle adventure made for co-op, built from the ground up for asymmetric 2-player co-op, either in local split screen or online with Nintendo Switch 2 Game Share, or using the Orbital's global Friend Pass feature, which Friend Pass are such a great feature for accessibility, where one person has the game and the other person can join them via online multiplayer if they're given the pass from the owner. That's always just great for accessibility. And it makes the entire process cheaper to play too. Orbitals reward smart teamwork and clear communication. Use each other's characters' unique tools to open the path forward, overcome danger, and meet out-of-this-world creatures and characters on a bombastic adventure. Explore beyond the storm wall, pilot your ship through the perilous asteroid fields, and discover mysterious abandoned stations filled with a variety of puzzles and dangers that only two explorers can overcome together. As you navigate uncharted areas, close collaboration is vital. Remember, you can only save your home by working together. So, this is a game that I absolutely have my heart set on. I definitely want to do a playthrough of it. The question is, which friendo will I end up grabbing to join me on this? We'll see. Anyways, let's move on to the next game. Boop-boop. Number 9, we have Control Resonant. Now, this game caught my attention from its gameplay mechanics. I haven't played the Control games before, I've always heard good things, but when I'm looking at the trailer and the footage of this gameplay, it almost reminds me of a mix of like Infamous and Prototype, except more in a supernatural, Twin Peaks almost style setting. It's just fascinating. The way that they move around the environment, the combat mechanics that are tied into it. Infamous was such a fun series, and I'm sad that we haven't gotten a new entry in so long, but all series need to eventually come to an end so we can get new things, you know? But this does look like it might scratch that itch for me that Infamous left behind. It's described as explore warped Manhattan on the brink of supernatural annihilation in this thrilling action-adventure RPG. Unleash the extraordinary powers of Dylan Faden as he fights for his humanity and our survival against a reality-bending cosmic threat. So apparently this Dylan Faden guy is, after years in confinement at the hands of the Federal Bureau of Control, the FBC, Dylan Faden emerges into a warped Manhattan at the peak of a paranatural crisis. Charged with combating a mysterious cosmic entity as it alters fundamental aspects of our reality, Dylan must harness his newfound powers to take flight and take the fight to the myriad of threats overwhelming Manhattan. On the path to unlocking the full potential of his paranatural abilities, Dylan will also seek out his sister, FBC Director Jesse Faden, as he bids to comprehend and contain the dangers that have spilled beyond the confines of the oldest house to tear our world apart. This game, this new entry alone, has been pushing me over the edge when it comes to the Control series to finally start it and give it a try, because I want to enjoy this particular title to its fullest. I've always heard good things about Control. I'm not one for too many shui shui bang bang style games. I know it's not shui shui bang bang, but like that's there's more gunplay than melee combat from the footage I saw of the older Control games. I could be wrong and mistaken on that, but what I see of this game is what's drawing me in and making me want to try the rest of the series, which is exactly what a new entry should do. It should invoke that thought of I want to know what I've been missing out on so I can continue and try this to its fullest. So I'm really excited for Control Resonant. It's launching on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Epic Games Store, and you can pre-order it now. Now let's check out the next game, shall we? Kimuri is a game that we did get like a teaser cinematic trailer for, I believe, a year or two ago, but didn't really show us anything until recently. This new trailer shows us more gameplay and more of the world and enemies and what we can expect from the game. It's almost like Monster Hunter meets a Tokyo Punk style. It's full of aesthetic vibrance, it's full of personality, the way the characters move, the different move sets. I really want to try the Shaman class because I can use magical fists. If there is a game that lets me punch things, I love punchy characters. I love martial arts based melee characters, and the fact that the Shaman mixes magic with physical combinations has my heart sold. Now, this game is described as Kimuri is an all-new original IP from Unseen, created by artists and developers from around the world. Born from the collision of different cultures, values, instincts, and creative visions, Kimuri is a game that only Unseen could bring to life. Players become yokai hunters and use the Fox Window, a power that lets them see what ordinary people cannot, to uncover the hidden anomalies lurking within Kimuri City. By forming contracts with yokai and wearing their powers as possession apparel, players can change their appearance, their combat style, and the way they move through the city. Run through a chaotic vertical city where life and death, reality, and the paranormal overlap, alone or with one or two friends in online co-op. Where there is Kimuri, yokai are sure to follow. How will you hunt the unseen? So this really speaks to that aesthetic leaning that the game's going for. The fact that the movement looks so satisfying and the variation that goes in it. So far I believe they've only shown off like 3 or 4 different classes. That might be all there is, maybe there is more there, but this is a game with a lot of potential. I didn't really see it that way until I saw the gameplay. I want to, like, they've got so much swagger with the way some of these guys move around. The enemies look fun to fight. It's almost Monster Hunter-esque in a way, where it's like boss fight after boss fight. I don't see too many small enemies here and there, maybe a few, but overall, it looks like it's going to be a fun co-op experience. What's really going to drive this home for me to know like if it's a day one or not is going to be if there is a solid narrative single player campaign, or if there's a campaign or story that's tied into the multiplayer as well. I need a sense of direction. I love me a narrative. I want to know that this isn't just in there, beat things up, get out. You know, I want there to be purpose to the characters and what they're doing. That's the thing that would push me over for this game. I'm looking forward to it. I think it has a lot of potential. All right, so let's check out the next one. Marvel's Wolverine. There isn't really much to say here. I love the Insomniac Spider-Man game. It made me very happy. I loved how it felt. I loved the combat. I loved the writing and narrative and how attached you can get to characters. The ending of the first Marvel Spider-Man game really just tugged at my heartstrings, and I love it when a game does that. When they're just laying there talking like, I see you as my son, and that the whole scene. I don't want to give too much away, but like the other games, they were good too. Like I enjoyed Miles Morales, I enjoyed Spider-Man 2, but the first one's ending really struck it for me. But these games are fun. They're my favorite superhero games, honestly. Spider-Man like 2 from the PS2 was the like longest standing like king of Spider-Man games for a lot of people. For me, it's the new Insomniac series, and giving them another superhero IP to work with, using what they learned from the Spider-Man game and adapting it to a more mature style with different, more visceral combat with Wolverine. I feel like the potential here is incredibly high. We've seen some of the gameplay now. We've seen some new characters. We know Sabretooth there. We know Mystique's there. We know Jean Grey's there. And it looks like there's some combination attacks going on. Wolverine looks brutal. He's using like fatalities in there. The regeneration mechanic looks interesting. It looks like there's a stamina bar that's tied to regeneration in addition to a health bar. And of course, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of narrative and story plays out here. Will it hold up to the same huge statute that Spider-Man left for me? Now, this game is something that I feel like a lot of people are excited for. This is one of PlayStation's like big faces right now, right? Like this is one of those IPs that everyone's looking at like, ah, yes, that's a system seller right there. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think Wolverine will be able to overtake Spider-Man as the current best superhero game? Or do you think Spider-Man is going to kind of reign supreme for a while there? I'm also a fan of Spider-Man as a whole. I love characters that smile through adversity and find reasons to push past the darkness. I love the concept of the indomitable human spirit, you know, Gurren Lagann and all that. Our boy Moomin Rider, you know, that kind of stuff really speaks to me. So Wolverine, I don't think I'll get that, but I do think I'll get a character who is going to drive through his hardships and persevere. So let me know, what's your favorite superhero and what's your favorite superhero game? Let's check out the next game. Next up, we have Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. Now, this game is really interesting because I really enjoy fighting games. My personal favorites end up typically being Tekken games and Guilty Gear games. I enjoy Street Fighter, I enjoy Dead or Alive, I enjoy Blaze Blue, I enjoy quite a few. I'm willing to try most fighting games. When it comes to Virtua Fighter, I felt like the series was always lacking to me on the aspects of impact and sound design, because that weightiness of the hits just wasn't connecting for me. And that was always been an issue. It was a game I would enjoy, but I would typically end up dropping. Now, Virtua Fighter 6 is given over to RGG Studio, which is behind Yakuza games and whatnot, and this gives me a lot of hope. Not only is this team going to bring over their knowledge from the Yakuza games, but their goal isn't just to make a great fighting game, it's to evolve the genre as a whole and create something entirely new, to revitalize Virtua Fighter into something else. It's going to be not just a fighting game. According to them, the new genre is a fighting adventure game. Now, this seems clear from the trailers we've seen because there's a huge focus on these in the narrative of the cinematic mode. Now, the story mode, from a few shots we've seen, it seems like it might have some branching choices and whatnot, or depends on your performance. We're seeing new and returning characters, and a lot of personalities going into this. Not only that, but the writing team for this game is absolutely stacked. We're seeing talents on the writing team from Ghost of Tsushima fame, from Persona fame, and of course the Yakuza team, and like Dragon team. Like this, the writing team is absolutely stacked. I've never been so excited for a narrative in a fighting game before, and with the experience to bring from their other talents and games, I feel like this is Virtua Fighter's best chance of like getting a real hook into the fighting game scene this time. Now, I would say the most popular fighting games that people tend to revolve around are Tekken, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat. Like, those are the big three. Mortal Kombat has been seen a while, they've been pretty quiet. Tekken's kind of falling apart with all the leadership leaving, and Street Fighter's just kind of doing alright right now, you know? But it feels like there's an unease in the fighting game space, and this is Virtual Fighter's chance to break into the main stage and really accelerate their name above where it's ever been before. This is an exciting time for this game, and like I said, I don't think I've ever been so excited for a narrative in a fighting game, you know? Anyways, let's check out the next one, shall we? If you're an RPG fan, Persona 4 Revival was absolutely going to be on this list one way or another. Persona 4 Golden and Persona 4 are long-standing mainstays of any RPG fan's repertoire. Now, this revival version of the game is adding new animations, new character models, updated designs to the environment, and a 30D camera now instead of a fixed angle one, so you can actually explore the world, new events, and a lot more, as well as quality of life improvements and a lot of inspiration from the fighting games too. This looks like the new definitive way to experience Persona 4. Some people are a little torn on some aspects like the voice cast changing and whatnot, and there are some questionable choices here and there, but overall this looks like an exciting way, especially for new players who have always been excited or curious about the Persona series and want a more modern rendition to jump into. Persona 3 Reload was an option for that, but some people don't do well with the whole more morbid feeling of 3, whereas 4 feels more vibrant and character driven, so it might resonate with a different audience, and it's another great point for people to get into the Persona series. So Persona 4 Revive is just gonna be an amazing time for Persona fans, new and old. So remember to check out Persona 4 Revival, and I'll see you guys with the next game. Marvel Dokkan Fighting Souls is obviously going to be on this list as a fighting game fan. The studio behind it, Arc System Works, has been hitting banger out of banger. They have so much love into their character designs and the way they implement their gameplay. The trailer that showed off recently was for Knights of Doom, which introduced 4 more characters, and Carnage wasn't one I was expecting to make this cast. I figured he feels like more like a DLC character, but his finishing move looks absolutely insane with that giant shark thing. The gameplay of this game looks accessible. It looks like it's going to be easy to get into with a lot of depth to kind of master. Beyond that, the character designs go so hard. I am absolutely weak for smug magic, and I will not be going into detail about that statement. But the character variations, like the Danger Room being a character with a Giga Drill Break reference, there's so much love for both comics, anime, and fighting games all mixed into this game. You can't help but be excited for it. So Marvel Dokkan Fighting Souls is absolutely on my radar. I'm going to be picking it up as soon as it launches so I can run some games against my community and my friendos. It's going to be a good time. I'm also interested more about this team name mechanic, because apparently the team name changes depending on who you pick to mix and match. So I wonder how that's going to end up playing out, you know? Either way, I want to see what this last bit of the roster looks like, and if they'll have any crossover characters, because I'm always curious about guest characters in fighting games. Anyways, let's move on to the next game. The new Fire Emblem Fortune Weave trailer has me so excited. We already knew this game was going to be having some kind of reference or attachment to Three Houses, which is a fantastic entry that everyone, or not just everyone, but a lot of people really seem to love, myself included. I went with the Golden Deer, Fear the Deer, you can fight me on that. Point is, Fire Emblem Fortune Weave does something that not enough JRPGs do, and that is that your 4 factions that you can pick from, each having their own leader or main character, 3 of them are melanated, and I love that so much. It's just I want representation. I want more characters to look like me so I can feel seen. It's not something I get often, so when I do get it, I just get really excited about it. We're seeing a more Coliseum style aesthetic. It looks like there's a grand tournament happening over time, and these 4 characters have unique storylines to branch off into with their own colorful cast of characters to meet and get to know. This seems like an exciting way to continue the story, but now the real question is, how does Three Houses truly tie into this game? from the representation to these other characters, I'm really excited. The only thing that caught me off guard a little bit was the fact that we still have an Avatar character. I was like, ah, yes. I personally would have preferred if we played as one of these four main characters and just kind of went with them, but instead we're going with an Avatar character again. It just feels like a mainstay at this point. That's all right. It's just like, that's something to self-insert. You know, a lot of people like that self-insert mechanic. I just hope that this one's a little more customizable, you know, if that makes sense. Either way, Fire Emblem's a good time. It was one of the first games I ever did a full playthrough of on my channel, so I'm really excited to do the same for this game. I am looking forward to it. I even ordered the Big Fancy Collector's Edition to just to show how excited I am. Anyways, next up we have... Next we have Stranger Than Heaven, which you may have already seen me covering this game here and there because this is probably my most anticipated title of the year. It's one that came out of nowhere and just has me in an absolute vice grip. It has such a star-studded cast, including Otto and Snoop Dogg and Tupac, as well as other famous stage plays, musicians, and more from America, Japan, and across the world. The RGG studio behind this game is also the team that makes the Yakuza games. It feels like this is the pinnacle of where all of that talent was leading up to. We did see some references to Yakuza with the Tojo clan being name dropped a little bit, but this being a game that follows a character who has an immigrant story and doesn't feel at home due to persecution from being an immigrant in both his different bloodlines, from being American and mixed with Japanese. He looks for a new home and to carve out his own place in Japan, in a place that's still foreign to him because it's not what he's used to, a place stranger than heaven, a unique combat system where it feels almost like a fighting game with the mix-ups and the combos and the heavy strikes and the delays, a customizable move set with the upgrade system with the weapons, the musical atmosphere that goes into this, the rise of the entertainment district, the fact that you follow this character across 5 different sections of his life and 5 different eras in Japan's development. This game looks absolutely stupendous with how deeply it seems to like be moving and how deeply developed it is. There's so much heart behind this game, from the soundtrack, like the theme song alone, that Stranger Than Heaven song from Otto, Snoop Dogg, and Tori Kelly. It's charting number 3 on like the Genius 100, and it's not even out yet. This game has everything going for it in all the right ways. It is probably my single most anticipated title this year. I am so excited to get my hands on it, and if this game gets me that same vice grip like feeling and emotional movement and gameplay mechanic nuance that Yakuza 0 did for me, that got me into those Yakuza games, if they could hit all that, if this does better than 0 for me, then RGG is one of my all-time favorite studios. Like, they will just rocket up that list. They are working their way up surely and steadily for me, because I have been playing like one to two Yakuza games a year where we just beat 5. We're going on to 6 next, which is like the start of the medium or the more modern era. And Stranger Than Heaven is something we're just going to jump right into because it's not a Yakuza game. It's a standalone in a different time period, even though it may have a bit of a reference here and there. Either way, I'm so excited for Stranger Than Heaven. I can't help. It's got me smiling. Anyways, let's take a look at the next game. Kingdom Hearts 4 was an absolute shock to see here. We make bingo cards whenever we're looking at these events because we do streams for them. We had Kingdom Hearts 4 on our bingo card for PlayStation State of Play. We had it at Summer Game Fest. We had it on Xbox. We did not have it for Nintendo, and that's still driving me crazy because I was like, oh yeah, Nintendo, they're only gonna have like the collections or whatnot, if anything, for Kingdom Hearts, just to get more of a player experience. But then they're the ones that had the new gameplay trailer. The game still exists. Kingdom Hearts is such a strong, long-running series that means so much to so many people. Like, this game's gonna be a winner no matter what it does on launch. Well, I'm curious to see if this new aesthetic style is particular to that world, or if that's the main style going forward. We even saw who I believe to be Cloud in this trailer, so we're seeing Final Fantasy characters make a return. So I feel like we didn't get enough of those in 3. I feel like they were all just gone. The Kingdom Hearts at its core is supposed to be a mix of Final Fantasy and Disney, and I feel like the Disney side's been taken over way too much. So I want to see more original content. I want to see more Final Fantasy involvement. I want to see more from Kingdom Hearts 4. And them just putting this out there just kind of confirms, like, hey, by the way, guys, this still exists. We promise it's not vaporware. So now there's a bunch of rumors coming around that might come out next year, and I wanted to keep with this combat system where it has a bunch of over-top finishing moves and reaction commands. I love Kingdom Hearts 2's combat system particularly. The reaction commands, the cinematography, it goes a long way to making that game feel satisfying and fulfilling. Now, from an emotional standpoint, I'm a little mixed when it comes to Kingdom Hearts writing. I'm a little like, it's a little on the messy side, but that doesn't change it from being a fun game that touches so many different fan bases from the combination that it represents. This game being at the Nintendo Showcase was a shock and a very welcome one. If it comes out next year, your boy's gonna try and grab whatever collector's comes out. So, what about you guys? How do you guys feel about Kingdom Hearts? Are you looking forward to 4? Either way, it's time for our last game on the list. Our number one game on this list is going to be Final Fantasy VII Revelations. It had to be. I loved Remake, I loved Rebirth. The way that they're trying to take what the original game was doing, expand upon it, and turn it into a brand new original story, while in a way still trying to respect the originals as like their own canonical timeline and going about it with a very interesting change to the narrative, is really captivating for me. Not only that, but they expanded on my boy Zack Fair, who is my favorite character in all of gaming. He means a lot to me, and what Rebirth did for him also meant a lot for me. I want to see if they can bring him back in the next one, maybe? Either way, Revelations is set to be a conclusion to this epic, long struggle and narrative that they've been writing out. We are getting more playable characters. Vincent Valentine looks like everything about Vincent Valentine's gameplay is like, ah, yes, what if Dirge of Cerberus, but better? But like, I'm just so in for this game. The only concern I have is what's the size gonna be? Because this game looks absolutely massive. Rebirth was a huge game, and they're saying this is way larger. We're seeing like worldwide travel in the trailers. They're parachuting down to different countries and regions in this trailer. Like, this is all supposed to hit to a conclusion. Like, this is the finale, and it feels like there's still so much to go. The weapons look immaculate. The modern rendition of this looks incredible. The new moves, the combination attacks, the characters tying all in together. I am all in on this game. And if they do manage to bring my boy Zack Fair into this somehow, I'm like, this will be my game of the year. This will be my game of the year if they can bring Zack Fair back. Hopefully. Either way, Final Fantasy VII, the Remake, Rebirth, Revelation series, has been hitting home for a lot of people. It's new, but it's also refreshing. It's somewhat familiar, but different. It ties things together. It expands upon the old while introducing so much new. You can see my Sephiroth statue, like, back there, because he's right there, because I have the collectors of the last one, and I'm probably going to try and grab the collectors of this one. Rebirth, Revelations now. I'm all in. I'm all in on Revelations. I need it to come out. I am very excited. I know a lot of other people are excited. And after that, I guess we'll have to see what they end up doing next as far as these style of games go. We don't know if they're going to keep on remaking old Final Fantasy games. I know a lot of people really want 8, 9, or 10 to also get this huge remake treatment, but what about just getting a new game as far as 17 goes? I liked 16. Giant Kaiju boss battles. That's all you have to say to sell me on 16. Either way, number one from us right here is going to be Final Fantasy VII Revelations. So that's our list here. So those were 10 games that we're really excited about that are going to be coming out, that were announced during the video game announcement season events that we talked about. Now, these are games that already had some level of announcement before, whether that be an announcement trailer or whatnot, something solid that we kind of looked at before. I'm going to have an entirely separate video coming out talking about the brand new announcements that weren't previously disclosed or seen in a tangible format. So keep an eye out for that video and let me know what you thought about this one. What games are you looking forward to that you're excited about that were recently announced that we already kind of knew about, and what games are you hoping still get announced? Because we still got Gamescom, we still got some smaller events in between, and we still got Tokyo Game Show. Like, we still have quite a bit to go as far as game announcements go for the next couple months. Let me know what you're looking forward to, and like, comment, subscribe. That sounds weird to say, but we're saying it anyways. Much love and happiness to you, yeah?